So this story is kind of it's pretty interesting. I had this one client of mine who he wanted. I mean, he had all the good intentions of the world. He wanted to do a benefit concert and have a bunch of celebrities involved in it. And he got in touch with me and he said, can you get celebrities, involved in? And I talked to a few of them, and they said, just tell us when, and we'll let you know if we can do it. It just to do it way out now, it doesn't make sense. I said, all right. So I told him that, but that wasn't good enough for him. He wanted to meet some people face to face. And one day he came to me and he says, I'll pay you if you could get me to meet Jazzy Jeff, face to face. And I go, all right, if you want to, you don't have to do that, but if you want to, sure. So I called Jeff and I said, this guy wants to meet you. And he said, well, why don't you come on over? He was over at Pier 5 and he had a bunch of friends there. And it's usually there are some celebrities there. He said, just come on over. And I said, okay. So I came over and brought this guy with me. And I introduced him to Jeff, and he was, talking to Jeff, and I was just sitting there and just hanging out. And this guy was, how he's floating around talking to people, but he was saying all the things that were making everybody uncomfortable. And Jeff just gave me this stare. After a while, he says, you got to get him out of here. I go, what do you mean? He says, he's making everybody uncomfortable in this whole place. So you got to get him out of here. And I said, all right, let me see what I could do. So when I talked to the guy, I said, oh, we got to go. And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, no, we just got to go. And he said, well, everybody doesn't want me to go? And the more I talked to him, the louder he got. And as he was getting louder, everybody was getting quieter. And it got to the point, he says, so everybody wants me to leave? And I was like, oh my God. He just wouldn't take a hint. So I just said, we just got to go. And I got him finally to leave the townhouse. And I drove him back to his car, and he talked my ear off for hours about what he was trying to do. But the point of this conversation is you kind of have to read the room and understand when it's appropriate to talk about things and when it's not appropriate to talk about things. And some people, they just push harder and harder, and all it does, it makes everybody uncomfortable. And I just wish that guy would have picked up on that, and he probably would have gotten what he wanted if, getting these celebrities involved in what he was trying to do. But being the way he was, it pushed him in the opposite direction. So that was an interesting situation.